So this church has a big organ, but it's not as big as God's heart. So the window work on this church is intricate. It's probably because they took a lot of care in making it because it was for God. What do you think this thing's all about, Kurt?
Jesus.
So we're outside of a palace. There's a lot of sculptings to do with war because there's been wars here. So we're inside of a courtyard outside of sculpting. And you can see this is a guy on top who's like, hey, this is my home. Welcome. I'm starting to think someone important from history was here or lived here or something. So we went into the Crown Jewel Museum's bookstore to do some research, and we found out that Austria actually had like an imperial thing. So the empire, they gained a lot of control. Oh, this is just beautiful how much history is here. I'm getting excited just looking at all of it. So there's a sculpting over here of something symbolic, and then over there is another symbolic sculpting, and they're like charging at each other, and they're gonna fight. So many of our viewers probably have heard of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. They were an empire before World War One. They tended to have hamburgers as rulers.
I know what you're thinking. Christ alone, cornerstone. There's the cornerstone.
So here we're in front of a sculpting, and on either side are the exact same building. That's because the ancient Viennanites, they loved symmetry, which led to a lot of redundancies.
Shoes. Gloves. Headphones. Your suit. Her dress. These are things that are nice when they match. Notice how I didn't say buildings.
So you might notice the date on this thing. It says November 1918, and as most scholars know, that's the date of the armistice. The armistice of the First World War, and these two men are somehow involved. So all around us is history, and sometimes there's too much of it to learn. So you just have to, learn as much as you can and leave the rest up to the books. So we're outside of a big building that's made very intricately, and they're playing classical music because there's a history of classicalism in Austria, especially Mozart. So we made it to another palace. Behind me is a fountain. It's frozen over by water that's cold, and that's kind of symbolic for how Austria is as a nation. Cold. this is where like uh, rulers from the olden days used to kind of walk around and think about their policies. Um, yeah, so the family that ruled Austria was the Hamburgers, and they were quite famous for, doing war, and they would fight a lot against different other powers like the Russians and the Polish and the Prussians. So throughout history, mankind and womankind have been trying to, be remembered in different ways, sometimes through what they do, sometimes through what they build, sometimes by what they say or write or read. Well, this is a monument to somebody. I don't even know who because I don't care. In 1939, Anschluss was the nonviolent takeover of Austria by Germany. Many of you will remember the iconic scene of when the Germans come into Austria in The Sound of Music, and then that